Greetings, race fans, and welcome to the Fat Cat Sports Network. I'm Jeremy McDonald with your OBS Street Stock highlight reel for the Piston Cup 75 lapper, your Bob Beer Memorial Great Prince Edward Island driver, a part of the Maritime Motorsports Hall of Fame for New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and PEI. Great to memorialize this race in his name. Third and final installment of the Super Series, the 4 Andrew Thompson clinging to a 9-point lead over the 27 of Nick Chason. If neither driver wins the race, Chason would have to at least finish 5 positions ahead of the 4 Andrew Thompson. Thompson also broiled in the championship points battle overall as Alex Sheehan and the 06 23-point lead over Thompson. The 35 of Colton Ford looking good this season, 5 total wins including a feature. The 42 of Mike Dusky, that big game hunter here, running well also, looking for a fast car. Mitchell Arsenault in the 51, having a little chat with the 37 of Brandon Albert prior to the race. And fresh off his street stock feature win here at OBS on Labor Day Monday, here is Michael Cormier with a special guest commentary.
Pretty interesting, actually. We were down towards Frank Fraser's place one day, and I don't remember what we were doing. We were down there just to get some parts, or I think my uncle wanted a motor, or there was something going on. And we came across this old chassis in the woods, and we were thinking, like, damn, that would be a good chassis to build a street stock or sportsman out of it. And we noticed it was a little bit rough. It was an old Chris Reed car, or Kyle, I'm not sure who really run it, but that was one of Scott Fraser's last cars that he built. So it was pretty cool to be able to put that together and make such nice work out of it. Bob and Ron Lane helped us a lot with the body. They do great work. Dougie White did a lot of work too. My uncle, and it was a lot of late nights trying to make it look good and cut everything out of it, make sure it was legal for being a street stock. So yeah, it came along pretty good. I mean, it's competitive and it looks good, and makes the sponsors happy,
Oh wow, no, that's an awesome story.
It's a great experience. I mean, I went down to PEI my first trip out, and I actually remember the 27 kind of taught me, the ropes of the racetrack. He raced me pretty rough, and then I was like, you know what, I gotta do that too. So yeah, he kind of taught me that part of the game, and then I kind of carried it over throughout the year. And so far, I've been doing pretty good. You just gotta be super aggressive and be able to use your bumper the right way. They're very heavy cars, and we're going at speeds that probably the cars shouldn't be going. So it's pretty cool to be able to transition from that to a legend car and all that. How you were saying it is very precise. Like we had Martin Landry in a legend car here Thursday practicing, and he was saying about how hard it was, him coming out of a street stock, and he got a hold of it, but it took a little while. It takes a little while for a lot of the guys. So yeah, that's definitely true. But it just makes me that much better in the street stock to know the precision part, and to be able to race a little bit rougher in the legend car since I got a hang of it. Yeah, it was definitely different. I mean, we just came off of a race at 660, and then we were late getting there, and then we had to put a set of rear end gears in the legend car yet. We had to service it all up, and then the street stock didn't have the proper weight and left side in it yet, so it was a lot of work. I think we missed first practice in both divisions, and then we tried real hard to make it up for second practice. We made it up for a little bit, and then the cars were both pretty good right off the bat. Cup heat race and semi was basically our practices, and we were just a mid-pack car, and then feature cars came around. We did the right adjustments at the right time, and ended up having a pretty good weekend with the first in the street stock and third in the legend car. Yeah, so it was a great weekend for us. We love it up there. You guys definitely make it feel like home.
Pretty good down the straightaway, a little trouble with that first quarter for the 29, but that's okay. Up front, Mike Dusky challenging with Owen Galloway. Zach Chapel here now trying to hang on.
You run the outside, which is different. Petty and 660 where I usually go the most. It's an inside track, and you can't do much on the outside, so then I had Mike Dusky help me a lot with that. You know, I seen him run the outside of my car, and he kind of taught me a little bit, and I was able to put that into a legend car, and then the legend car is just basically a street stock that's smaller, twitchier, and faster, so it just reels you back a little bit to get in the street stock, right? So, yeah, I mean, it was a great experience. Just to get to feel the track again, get around there, just feel comfortable there again, you know.
Zach Chapel doing a nice job here early on. As we know, the 42, that car is dialed in here on the Speedway. The win for the 42 this season. Down the backstretch, Dusky for the lead. Chapel trying to hang on the outside. The pressure is cooking. Behind those two drivers, Vinci there getting a real good look at what's going on. He's trying to stay away from them. He just wants to start that 75 lap race a little later on today. As they continue on out the doors. A little slide up the racetrack there by the 42. Checkered flag from Zach Chapel, a very nice run into second.
I started out, I was 12 years old. I just practiced for a little bit and ran half a year at Petty. I believe we ran one race at Scotia just to try it out. And now I'm 19, so it's been 8 or 7 years I've been racing, and it's been the best years of my life. Honestly, I love racing, and I learned a lot about being able to be professional. You know, there's a lot of big sponsors and big names out there watching you when you're racing, and you know, it's a family sport. You got to be professional. You got to be, even with tempers and emotions, obviously, it's just, you got to take into consideration that there's always somebody watching, and yeah, I learned to be better mannered, be more professional, just enjoy the sport, and hopefully make everyone else being able to enjoy it that's watching as well.
Competitor for a heat race. Imagine when he had 75 laps of that and a big trophy. After the highly respected volunteers here now.
The confidence is real high. We came in and we right away, we were next to Mike and Gracie, and they help us a lot, you know, and we already had a setup kind of put together after the last feature. So we knew what the car wanted. We just had to build off of the weather and how the track was changing a little bit. But yeah, I mean, the car came out of the trailer and practice. Me and Mike were real fast. He was probably the one to compete with me in the feature, and then in the feature, I don't know if the other drivers were saving up or what happened, but I know Colton was real good. He was in the lead lap, and 27 would have probably put on a pretty good show if he was on the outside. So yeah, I mean, the car just was good all day, and we were fortunate enough to bring it home after starting from the rear.
Piston Cup for Cormier Memorial underway. Action all around.
Well, I knew it was a big race because a lot of the hometown guys went down there and they couldn't even break the top 10. Like, they were saying about how hard it was to get through the field and how rough they are down there compared to down home, and how every inch is so important. And I mean, I didn't know that New Brunswick drivers had won it, but I knew that PI had a lot of strong cars over the years, and when I seen it, it was it was pretty cool. To be the first driver from New Brunswick to take it home, or from any other province, really. But I think this just hopefully will bring more people from outside to run those races, because that is a really, really nice trophy and race, and I love that it's dedicated to someone, and it really deserves to have the 20 to 30 street stocks out there racing for that race, because that's a really good race. It's a really fun weekend. The sun, it just made it a little bit more slick. I think it was changing more towards the end. At the end of the race, a lot of people were saying they were losing grip and just struggling to try to get around the track. And yeah, my car was a little bit off too at the end, but the car was so good, it almost anything could have came my way, and I think the car would have been a top 3 car all day. So.
happy out there. Smoke coming from the car, the 51, and maybe the driver's ears as well too. Oh, he's a long sheet in it. Back to life here, Michael Cormier, Mike Dusty, and Nick Jason. Paul Ford in early trouble there as well, too. Nick Jason with the advantage this time on the outside. Mike Dusty trying to fight back. Chase on around 3 and 4, pretty wild. Point recovery.
Well, if we're talking about miracles, it'd be the Daytona 500. But if I'm really looking at a race that I'd like to win, I would say the International and Sportsman car, because my uncle's old racer, Tim Rogers, used to race, and he's a 4-time champion. He was a 5-time champion, and then they actually let him through tech, and he was tying Frank Fraser for the most. And they got him through tech. He won the race, and then after a race, they went over to the trailer and DQ'd him. So that was unfortunate, but yeah, that'd be a big race for me to win. It means a lot to my uncle. It means a lot to old driver, and it'd be pretty cool to be able to put my name up there and give my uncle his 5th international win.
Side by side for the lead, it will be under caution. Michael Cormier, they will renew hostilities here now on the front row, back to some green flag racing. Behind those two drivers, that feud reignited here today. Up front, Cormier doing what he did here on Labor Day, and that's lead this street stop. 10 laps. 10 laps left up on that Fair Isle Ford scoreboard.
Well, when it comes to PEI, I have Donald and Tracy to help me out. We have a lot of people in the pit to help us out as well. And obviously my uncle and aunt that everybody knows pretty much around the track, they brought me up through racing after I was crying for a car every year, and they got me one. I guess I'm just really spoiled. And then obviously have all our sponsors that back us up. Monkey Pressure Dodge, Crossroads Cycles, Old Fashioned Meat Market, Sports Rock, there's Post-Tech Moncton, there's just so many people that back us up, Sean Lewis, Neil and Dougie and everyone that helps on the car, just small things, it means a lot to us, and we really appreciate that we can go out there and be competitive even on our budget. So yeah, they make the weekend real fun and help us race up to 30 or 40 races in a year.
Thoroughly impressed with the 68 of Michael Cormier, top to bottom, very professional on the track, off the track. All the best in the future. Hoping to see you back at OBS this Sunday, maybe, for a possible three-peat. The 27 of Nick Chason with that second place finish. We'll see where the 4 of Andrew Thompson ends up finishing here in this order. The 05 Jason Arsenault personal best there in this feature finish inside the top 5. Our hats off to the 05, one of those dedicated teams running with those small budgets. The 4 of Andrew Thompson finishing in 7th, meaning that the 27 of Nick Chason able to gain 10 points. And if you remember from the beginning, I mentioned all he needed was 9, so that 1 point advantage in the Super Series going to the 27 of Nick Chason. Another car of note there, first timer, the 29 of Brian Arsenault, finishing 8th. Not bad for a 75 lapper for your very first feature. Heading into the final weekend for the points championship, the 06 Alex Sheehan hoping to just come home in one piece and maintain that 25-point lead. 1 weekend left. The 37 of Brandon Albert could very well catch the 4 of Andrew Thompson, depending on who has the bad luck on that day. He's 21 points behind Thompson, and Albert hoping at the start of the season to come out of this with a top 3 at the end of the season. He will go into the final weekend 22 points ahead of our most recent Super Series champion, the 27 of Nick Chason. On behalf of myself, Jeremy McDonald, and guest commentator Michael Cormier, thanks for watching.